Good morning, everyone. This is BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today I'm here with my partner and friend, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. We'd like you to join our conversation with coffee, tea, thoughts, and participation. So we are looking forward to you talking back to us here live on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, i.e. Twitter, and on Clubhouse. So we'd like those in Clubhouse to know that we will be streaming this over on our channels, bizchicks.live, for TV purposes. So you will be recorded. Without further ado, we're going to get started. What's our conversation about today, Fran?
Hey, good morning. And TJ's over here in the clubhouse joining us.
TJ.
And hey, Claudia, come on in.
Hey, Claudia.
We'll get Claudia up here too. And today we are talking about reasons and seasons. This conversation got started today because like every Monday we come up with some stuff. But this was a really good thought. Why are you doing what you do?
Okay.
Why are you doing what you do is the first part of that. There's a reason. Then the second part of that is, should you be doing it now? There are a lot of times when we get into, hey, Paula, we're here in the clubhouse. So a lot of times we get into doing things because it's the trendy thing to do, because someone else is doing it. I heard we can make 6 figures doing this. And so you jump on, but is it really the thing you should be doing? Because TJ always talks about what is your why? Why are you doing what you do? And is this the season to be doing that? Businesses go through seasons. Okay, so let's take the seasons. There are 4 seasons in a year. We're not wearing bikinis in February. Hey, Dr. Tachi. We're not wearing bikinis in February. So because it's inappropriate to do so for your health reasons, right? So we're trying to stay, there's a different season for doing different things in business too.
And it depends on where you are, because Dr. Tachi's in Florida. Maybe they are in bikinis right now, but I don't know. I don't think so. Anyway, or if you've taken a trip to the Bahamas or somewhere warm, that might be an appropriate attire. So, there's a time and a place for things, and that's all part of the reason.
Why are you doing what you do? And if it's the thing, if you're doing the thing that you're doing because that's the thing that you do, and it's something you decided you wanted to do, and not there's a word I'm looking for, not a suggestion, expectation, there it is, of someone else. Are you doing whatever you're doing because you're expected to do it? I remember a gentleman, he was flourishing here in California doing things, and he said, well, I have to go back home to wherever he was from because I'm expected to do this because I'm the oldest in the family. I'm the oldest in the family, so I'm expected to go here and take care of the rest of the family. And I thought to myself, okay, I don't know if the rest of the family would have been getting help. But that's his culture.
Yes, I was going to say, that is not, our mindset.
Okay, so weigh in. I have Claudia, Terry, or TJ, Drea, Dr. Tachi, over in Clubhouse, and we want to hear what you have to say. What say you all about reasons and seasons? Why we do what we do, and should we be doing it now? Anybody?
Good morning, ladies.
How you doing this morning?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Good morning.
Okay, good. Good morning. This is a topic I love to talk about. Know your why, because especially when you're running a business, there's going to be ups and down days where you go, what am I doing and why am I doing it? So if you know your why and you write it down somewhere, please do. You can go back to that document, that note, whatever, wherever it is. If it's in the phone, in a notebook, you pull that piece of paper out and you read it, and that's going to reconnect you with yourself when that time is down, in your business or whatever, and that's going to reconnect you. So that's why I would say know your why. It's your driving force. It's the engine that runs your business. Because if you don't know why you're doing it, you're lost.
Yep. And there are a lot of people wandering around lost, and they're looking at, okay, I'll do this program, or I'm going to start that funnel, or I'm going to do this because someone else is doing it, and they not really understanding. The other person knows why they're doing it.
Mm-hmm. And I say this, a confused mind doesn't get anything accomplished. You're confused, so nothing gets done.
Right. And yeah, because you're confused on your why, and then you don't even know what season you're in. You're totally discombobulated. You've seen people who wear overcoats and parkas in the summer.
Okay.
Okay, but
yes,
seriously,
we've seen a lot of that around here.
Right. So what is there? Okay, so it's unnatural to wear a parker.
It's unseasonal.
It's unseasonal. So something has gone wrong in that person's thinking, or maybe they are literally cold. But
under normal conditions,
they're not. That's not normal. That's not a normal process. You have on a full parka and you all hooded up, and it's okay. Are you robbing a bank?
And it's 80 degrees outside.
I'm picturing somebody, if you know I'm a filmmaker, so whenever you say something, I actually picture it as so.
You visualize
somebody in a red parka holding up a bank when you said that. I'm sorry.
Because, that would be the first, isn't that something they teach you is like, okay, something's not right with this picture. He's wearing an overcoat coming in. Or she's wearing an overcoat. Hey, Terica. So what the reasons, what's the reason you do what you do? That's your why, and TJ just talked about that. But then there's the other side of that. Is this the right season to be doing that? Because there are things that are happening right now due to the pandemic, and should you be offering, hey, we're going to give a handshake to everybody that comes in? That's some stuff don't fit the season anymore.
Yes, you may need to change your behavior based on, is it appropriate right now?
That's an excellent point. It's when you think about, I keep going back to some media things in terms of everything. And so let's look at what's happened here with Clubhouse, right? And look at what happened before with Anchor or with Facebook audio, right? Just where you had the choice to go video or audio only. That was not necessarily the time. And if the season also means, are people ready for what you have to offer? Is the market ready for what you have to offer? So even though we were doing this, everybody's like, hey, well, Clubhouse, it's a new thing. No, bitch, it's not. Social audio has been around for a while. It's just now catching on because it is the season. I keep saying that 2021 is the year of audio, not just podcasting, but the year of audio. And that's because this is the time now. And what facilitated that season? Unfortunately, the pandemic, where people had time to be a little more attentive to all these platforms that were starting to sprout. So seasons also are dependent upon whether or not the market and the people are ready for said season.
Yes, very much so.
Wow. Okay.
Terica, we want to welcome Terica to the Clubhouse, and this is being recorded. And so should you decide to speak, your voice will be heard around the world.
Okay. Carlos is over here on the live stream.
Hey, Carlos.
How you doing, Carlos? How you doing, Dr. Tachi?
So, Claudia, is there anything you wanted to weigh in on?
I've never done anything unless I have thought. I'm a type A personality, so I have to think about and calculate everything and have a plan for everything that I do. So I don't tend to stray into doing things just because other people are doing them. I like, for instance, a change in my business, it was a little scary because there's a lot of people doing it, but we decided to incorporate luxury picnics with what we do.
Oh, nice.
And why it was hard was because I looked at the market even in Sacramento. I'm like, there's a lot of jokers out here doing this, and how can I make it my own? So I still wanted to do it, and I still had a passion to do it. So we just changed it and made it something promoting self-care with people. Even in my own life, I felt like that would be a really, really good thing because a lot of things have transitioned in my life that put me in a mode of, Claudia, you have to think of your own self-care. You've been taking care of a lot of people for a long time. People are always wanting you to step up to the plate and quote unquote be the better person and take care of these other people. But when is it going to be your time? But still within that whole process, because I am, my gift is hospitality. I'm like, yeah, I like to, take on the mode of self-care, but I also like to put that idea in with other people, because I know during this pandemic, a lot of mental issues are happening that people are not talking about. And there's this idea that, like, we'll just deal with it because this is what's happening. We can't wait for the new normal. Well, we may never see the new normal again. So can we make the new normal be about self-care and checking in with what is going on with us mentally? Because even in our community as, women and Black women, we don't do that often, and it's very important. So we have done that. I've actually teamed up with Jill Weston with these quote unquote luxury picnics. The idea is that we'll have a picnic, and then if they want her services, she'll come and do some motivation, some meditation with couples or groups. And I teamed up with a lot of other people, but I was like, this is going to be a good thing. And Jill actually had mentioned that, she really loved the idea and that it was important that, to get this out there. So I feel good about it. When I was apprehensive at first, I feel really good about it. So.
Okay. So Jill, Claudia, tell us what you do, because I know what you do, but.
Oh, I'm a caterer. I'm a general caterer. But over the year of the pandemic, we transitioned and did some different things within the business because of the pandemic. And so one of those things was offering, I used to do meal prep. I don't do that anymore because of it just was so much work. as opposed to the compensation barrier of it. So we decided to, at the end of last year, start offering raisin boxes. Again, another market that's oversaturated, but it hit off really good. So I thought I could incorporate the raisin boxes with the luxury picnics and then make it my own. And so I have, by incorporating it to be something of self-care mainly. I mean, people are looking at it as something to do that's fun, but I want to incorporate it as something that's more of self-care. You take, even if you have a luxury picnic and it's just for yourself. Well, that's the whole idea that as boxables that we're going to encourage.
Nice. Thank you so much. Drea, you want to weigh in on the conversation?
We do have some comments over here from Carlos. So
okay, yeah, let's look at our comments from Carlos. Go ahead, Terry, put them up.
Okay, Carlos says, good morning. And then he says that he feels it's also the year of video as well. He says, mentally and also good, we eat. Many people don't realize that many mental health issues are due to inflammation of the brain, and that is a diet issue. Okay.
Nice. Wow, Carlos, that's good.
Yeah, he says, not good. I meant food. I think we knew what you meant. My thumbs up. My thumbs.
He's talking about his texting.
Yes, and Pat says good morning over here, all the way from North Carolina. How you doing, Pat?
No, that is Patricia Washington from Sacramento.
That's our Pat here in Sacramento. Oh, not Pat. Okay, from Durham. Okay, how you doing, Pat?
Drea, you want to join in? What say you?
Hello, ladies, and good morning. Happy Monday. I think what I have going on, what I'm doing is, this is my I feel like my reason to start my business. Actually, I'm creating a bath and body business. I had put it off for 10 years. When I first tried to do it, I ran into a lot of hiccups. And this time around, I am more so taking my time and being very intentional in how I process my business. And I just had this conversation with my husband just literally a few days ago, which was my why. And I told him, I said, my why is I don't want to chase the money. I don't want to look at the money. I don't want money to be my 100% of why I do what I do. I want money to flow to me instead of me chasing it. And in order to have money flow into you, you have to be intentional in what you're doing. And that's kind of where I'm at. And I can totally agree with what Claudia was saying. I'm kind of in the same realm with self-care. And I feel like that's the season we're in right now because of 2020 with the virus. It was a wake-up call. And I think now with 2021, everyone is starting to look at themselves a little more deeper. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm kind of doing the work for myself and my family. And hopefully I can pass that on to my client and my customers as well.
All right. Thank you, Drea. Terica, welcome to Clubhouse. What would you like to say?
Good morning, ladies. How are you today? Thank you for inviting me to the stage. I'm just listening in. I'm actually at work, so I don't have really time to communicate or anything, but I appreciate inviting me to the stage. But I'm listening now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, next time you'll come in and tell us what you do.
Yes, real quick.
Okay.
Now, Robin is over here in Facebook talking to us. How you doing, Robin Shimizu? With your happy, healthy habits. We just want to give you a shout out. Thank you for tuning in. We're talking about reasons and seasons. You want to reset the room, Fran, and tell us the topic again?
Yeah, reasons and seasons, knowing why we do what we do, and are we in the right season to do it? And as the people here in the clubhouse have expounded on, yeah, we need to make sure it's the right season. And Dr. Tachi mentioned about it, is it the right season for the audience? Not necessarily for you, but for your customers. Is it the right timing for them? a lot of times we're doing stuff and I'm just going to make that mousetrap. Okay, well, the cats have taken care of the mice, so what? Are we doing what we're supposed to be doing for the client? Is this working for them? And we've talked about, is this the season about social media? And TJ, you can weigh in on this. Maybe you don't be everywhere on social media in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're picking out where your client base is, and then you're going with that. I'm thinking, go ahead, TJ. I'm thinking that's a better.
I'm glad you said that about social media and not being everywhere, because and this is just from me, doing research, being in Facebook groups. I was on Quora today. If you don't know Quora, it's a site where people ask questions and they get answers. It's a kind of a niche area, so it's not very popular as the others. But people are trying to be everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's
mm-hmm.
like a I want to say greed. That's not the right word. But people it's like they want to consume everything at the buffet, thinking that's going to help them build their business. But it's like Fran said, no, you need to be in a couple of places where your audience is. So if your audience is women, let's say women over the age of 25 to 65, I'm just throwing that number out.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be on Pinterest, because that's where a lot of women are hanging out and they're inclined to buy. So that Pinterest might be a site you want to investigate instead of just trying to get on Instagram. Which Instagram, yes, there are women of a certain age there, but Instagram is more influencer marketing, Gen Z, millennial, and they might not be inclined to be interested in your topic or your business. So you need to know your why, and then you need to know, well, who am I targeting and where are those people hanging out? It might be Pinterest. And that's fine. That means you don't have to deal with Instagram unless you want to go over there, but you need to focus on, say, Instagram. If you're B2B, you want to be on LinkedIn.
Right.
You might not want to be on Facebook.
And
you want to this is the thing. You want to have a foothold on Facebook just because it's the Death Star. I call it that's how you call it, Master 9, but they have the numbers. Facebook has the numbers. So it just makes sense to have a presence on Facebook, but that's your audience may be on Pinterest. So you have a Facebook page or a group, and you do a little bit there, say 20%, 15% of your time, but the other rest, the majority of your time, you're going to be on Pinterest because your audience is there.
Nice. And we always suggest that you purchase your real estate on all of the platforms, even though you may not use them. Just go ahead and get it. Get your name, get your company name or whatever, wherever you are. And then, like TJ says, determine where your people are and then go hang out with your people there. Because it may not be the season to be on, it's not the season to be on Parlor.
Mm.
Is it ever the season to be on Parlor? Who said that?
Definitely not Paula.
But you understand what I'm saying? And I'm like, there are just some places, some neighborhoods you don't want to be in.
Okay.
And so there's a season. There's a season for everything. Where should you be right now, or what should you be doing right in this season? Mark, you want to weigh in?
I don't have anything to add at the moment. I just say amen, amen, amen.
Okay. Hey, Debbie, welcome to Clubhouse. We are live over on BizChicks Live on Facebook, Twitter, and Facebook, Twitter, and something else. YouTube.
YouTube. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what about YouTube? So
my question is to the live audience: are you in the right season? If you know that you're in the right business for the right season, just put a 1 over there in the chat and let us know.
Okay. And so
Think through this thing.
yeah, so in speaking of YouTube, YouTube Shorts has come out, and that's now a hot thing, right? So is this
I'm like, what thing? Go ahead.
is this a season to be on YouTube Shorts? We know audio is hot right now, and Twitter Spaces is coming. Don't know when we will have access to that. And then, Dr. Tachi, go ahead.
You know, all of this is, and I do know I said it's dependent on, it's also dependent on market and customer wants and needs as well. But do you have the bandwidth to do every damn thing? I think
there you go.
Because, you know, doing a YouTube Shorts is different from doing a YouTube video. Really, in and of itself, whenever you do these things, there should be different things that you're offering on these different platforms for it to be the most effective. And that takes a lot of damn work. So you have to ask yourself, do I have time to do all this? And if you don't feel bad. Don't feel that you have to spread yourself thin like nasty frosting so that you can do everything. You don't have to.
Oh,
like nasty frosting.
Go ahead, Mark.
Claudia puts a one over here, so does Robin. They know they are in the right business for the right time. I know Robin is marketing air filters that help clean spaces for people of COVID and to make their areas safe. If you're opening a business and you want to ensure your people that the area is protected, you would want to talk to Robin Shimizu over there. So,
okay,
you know, just let us know if you're interested in that. And Claudia is doing these beautiful picnics. And right now I'm in California Covers. We're partnering with the Great Bath Experience to create a beautiful keepsake box for Mother's Day. So, you know, because I want to see the smile on people's faces. I just, you know me. I'm all about the reaction of people. I love making folks smile and look beautiful. So that's where we're at with that. But yeah, so you know the timing. She says, "Wow, what a timely business." Yes, as far as Robin, yeah, and she also has personal devices and things that go in your car to clean the air of COVID and to keep them off of the surfaces. You know how you're constantly wiping stuff down and you're concerned because someone's been in your house or whatever, all of that. So anyway, I'm saying to you ladies, is your stuff timely and are you in the right business? And Robin and Claudia agree that they are timely and in the right business. They put a one in the chat. There's Carlos.
Okay, and I got Mark. Go ahead, Mark, you were saying.
I was going to say that one of the things that I think is often missed in some of these conversations, because it seems so elementary on the surface, but I find that a lot of people don't really take the time to do it and to continue to revisit it, is how are you evaluating your success in terms of, you know, you have your why, but sometimes people don't attach the why to the evidence of what success is going to be to evaluate whether you continue to do it or whether you need to alter the way that you are doing it. Because there are different reasons to be on social media. Me, for example, a lot of my presence on social media is not with the intention of getting clients point to point.
Yeah.
It's about the thought leadership, so that when someone is referred to me, most people will take a look to see what's out there and they'll get a better sense of me and what I'm about by all those different avenues. So for me, that is a level of success that is not directly client engagement.
I understand that completely. There are, and TJ can jump in here for this too, there are different reasons why you're on social media. And they don't necessarily, if I heard Mark correctly, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm trying to get a new client. Sometimes you're just trying to have a presence in the space. So, and maybe you have something important to share. You're sharing value. you are sharing expertise and wisdom, and then people can resonate. I believe it's called social proof. You say you do all of this, but I don't see anything anywhere. And right now, online has to be it, because we don't get to do brochures and flyers like we used to. And this is this is a more effective way of getting people to know you, to understand who you are and what it is that you do. Because most people are not going to work with someone if they don't understand what it is that they do, or know a little bit more about them, where you can feel more secure in talking to them.
Okay, but Carlos says, remember, you have to be on Clubhouse, Facebook stories, YouTube stories, Instagram TV, and stories, and Twitter and Instagram Reels, LinkedIn video live, as well as Facebook, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, Haps, and that's just for Monday. Okay, he goes on to say, most people don't have a business plan, much less a marketing plan. That's so true.
And so in your marketing plan, again, I know we've been talking about that. You're not going to be on every platform. You're going to be on the platform that serves your customer, or where are the people who need your help? Where do you find them? Maybe you need to be on Facebook. Maybe you need to be on Twitter. Where do you need to be? And it's okay to reassess the season. And like Dr. Tachi, I believe it was, you can't do everything every day and just try and keep that up.
Yep. Tachi says,
very true, Carlos.
She says, wait, very true. Yes, very true, Carlos.
So you may not be able to be everywhere, but you need to be somewhere doing what it is that you do, knowing why you do it, and is it the reason for the season? Is it solidified why you're here right now? Snapchat was not where I needed to be or focus my time. Not to say it's not important. I just couldn't focus my time there right now. And I'm reevaluating where I'm focusing my time for some other things. One person that I know calls it buckets, where you have a certain bucket for each amount of things that you need to do. There are VIP projects. VIP projects are the projects that you need to get done. Not very important people. These are your very important projects that you want to get done. So you need to schedule time for your VIPs. Then you need to schedule time for your OPPs, which is other people's stuff. And is there a time slot for that? What's the season? Maybe it's the season for you to write your book and dive all into doing that. Is it the season to reorchestrate and to reassess what your business is doing? And should you let something go? We talked about what you're going to start, stop, and continue, but what do you might need to lay aside and pick up and flow through with, because it's a new season. I need to take advantage of that. You notice subtly they're trying to start chicken wars again.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, we're not biting at this time. They tried to fabricate the chicken wars, when before it was kind of
organic.
It was an organic. There you go. And now they got commercials with chicken sandwiches and stuff, and we're like, whatever. We're not bothering with that anymore.
I think too, as we, and I this is something that I sense, is that as we see we're moving eventually to being able to go outdoors more, the weather's changing, the seasons are changing. This whole thing with picnics sounds fantastic. And we need to be getting ourselves in position to accommodate a lot of people going to be wanting to travel, even if it's to get in their car and go to a park. Okay. Or they may not be ready for planes, but people are booking cruises a year in advance. The things are changing. And so are you assessing your business for 2021 as people emerge, break out? You know what I mean? They may not want to go back to congregating like that because, hey, there's the gas, there's the time, there's the money, all of that. But they may want to do some self things with smaller groups, etc. So,
Right.
watch the trends, I guess is what I'm saying. Are you keeping up with the trend? Or are you trying to go back to the model before the whole wonderfulness happened? Because that may never come back, just as Claudia said.
Right. Carlos said he started his ebook for live streaming fundamentals.
Great.
And because live stream and audio, right now, this is how we're getting to know people. We met new friends over here on Clubhouse. Debbie is here, and she's in Clubhouse. And Drea, we met Drea, and then Mark and everybody else. We all knew y'all from Facebook, Blab, and some other things. And I'm going to have Debbie come on here, Debbie Bridge. She is an inquiry-based coach, and I'm looking to learn more about that. So let me ask her if she wants to jump in the conversation if you can. Hey, Debbie, how are you doing? And you are being recorded if you choose to speak.
Hi there. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I followed Tachi and Mark in here. I know them from another platform.
Okay.
I'm pleased to be here. I'm listening to your conversation and learning a lot.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for joining us. So what do you feel about seasons and reasons? How does that play out with your coaching business?
Yeah, I was thinking about that and wondering what season I'm in. And I think I'm in the sort of educating myself, expanding my knowledge. You were talking about a business plan. I was definitely guilty of not having one of those. And, so I'm an inquiry-based coach, which means I help people question and dismantle, limiting beliefs and that sort of thing. And I was just putting my placard out there, creating workshops to do, and was feeling frustrated that it wasn't growing. And so I'm now in business school and am really discovering why it wasn't growing. Part of it was the business plan, and not thinking about who my client was and so on and so forth. So I'm really in the educating place now, sort of step back and learning.
I like that. Do we need to go back to school in our business?
Hey, we need more information. Isn't that what you say? When things aren't going right, it's probably because we need more information.
Yeah, we're lacking something somewhere.
And Carlos says, congratulations on business school.
Debbie.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
He says.
And we just want to say thank you for everybody joining in on this conversation. And
I want people to know that the reason we come on is because we want to help you discover tips and tools that will help you do business better. So we welcome you, entrepreneurs. We want you to know that we're here to bring you information that you can do.
Right. And part of that information is thinking about what season you are in. And just like a human being grows, there's an infancy stage, there's a toddler stage, there's preschool, kindergarten. Where are you in your business? And I think we need to recognize that, because there are sometimes people try and tell you to jump up and do this, to do the 6-figure and all of that type of stuff, but you're just barely standing up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Biz Chicks is a
Go ahead.
gathering place for
Go
entrepreneurs.
ahead, Mark.
Go ahead.
Something to what you were saying earlier. You were speaking about how your business might need to change because of the changes to the world and the pandemic, et cetera. And you were talking about your why. And one of the things that I find that becomes an obstacle that people are often unconscious of is not continually revisiting their why.
Correct.
Often people will venture into something with a very clear why, and this is even true for people that are in positions in corporate America, etc., but they fail to revisit it, which is a huge mistake because the world changes. You've changed. The people around you have changed. The people that you work for have changed. The clients have changed. If you are not continuing to revisit that, even if you don't have a problem financially, business-wise, it's going to start to create some issues with you personally because you're no longer aligned with that which is yours to do, even though you might be skilled at doing it.
Right. Allegra, welcome to the clubhouse. We're talking about reasons and seasons, why you do what you do, and are you in the right season to be doing that? Terry, you were saying something.
Yeah, I was going to say, Carlos says, my why died and my new way was born because he said, I'm coming
out of retirement
stage. I never really retired. I just sort of refired my career, what I wanted to do. I took I think the British call it a gap year, where took a year off from quote unquote working or whatever, because I want to do what makes me smile. Now that I had control financially, etc. So yeah, if you're coming in from taking that, hiatus and relaunching yourself, I call it refiring yourself, firing up to do something different.
All right.
Really help.
And we're welcoming Allegra to the room. Allegra, we're talking about reasons, seasons, why you do what you do, and are we doing it in the right season? Would you like to weigh in on the conversation?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to learning from all of you and listening. I definitely feel like I'm very driven by the why behind my work. It's really interesting how that's emerged for me over time. I've been working as a coach for many years, and I've always been motivated by the craft of coaching and the art of coaching and creating really cool coaching experiences. And then at the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, something clicked, and I became very inspired to help a group of people on a particular journey. And it was just really interesting for me thinking about reasons that really, it just had a different quality to it in terms of what I was motivated by. And so kind of clicking into that has really, I don't know, it's just like the fire in my belly. It's the thing that has me talking about things, even if I don't know if anybody's listening. I think it's just definitely an interesting switch of my why behind my coaching. And as far as the season goes, I do think it's right for me. I guess I've never thought about that question. I think it's a really valuable one. I'm curious just to hear more about how you talk about seasons in the work.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. And Carlos has a comment here. He said, I used to do what made me happy. Now I'm focused on my new why, which is to make the world happy.
And Chauncey says that's a great reassessment. However, let me say this about and this may be common amongst women. We spend a lot of our life making other people happy. And for those of us who did, we we are taking control of this last quarter to combine making other people happy with what makes us happy.
And I think what Carlos is saying is making other people happy makes him happy.
Exactly.
And since that is the case, that's his new why. What can I do to help someone else? And I believe we all still do that. And I believe, Terry, what you're saying is that we can't forget ourselves in the process.
Exactly. A lot of us got lost on the journey.
Interesting. I think that the boundary is you're not extending yourself to the point where you're depleting yourself.
Correct. Well, you wake up, you look in the mirror, you don't even know who you are because you have morphed into what you thought everybody expected of you or whatever.
Right. And Carlos says, I hear you. It's men's turn to make women happy.
I can get on board with that.
If I could jump in here, I want to jump on something that Terralina had said in terms of taking a gap year or that time to kind of explore. So when I was full-time at the university I was working at, I was actually there long enough that I got sabbatical. So sabbatical is when you could take half a year or a year off in order to explore other research projects, etc. So I was like, thank God sabbatical is coming. And the good thing about that is it caused me to reassess whether or not I wanted to stay in the academy full time. And so I took that time I had always done other things in addition to being a professor. Like I made 2 films while I was a professor. Damn near killed me because I was also doing those things. So it made me reassess, is this what I want to do? And in terms of being happy, yeah, I was happy, but I spent a lot of my time making sure my students were good and they had opportunities in the industry. And I had to say, wait the hell a minute, this is what I want to do too. And if I'm always fighting for students and others to have opportunities, I am missing mine. So it is time that I bid you adieu. I will see you on the flip side. So I am all for that gap year or sabbatical.
This is something that we advocate here at Biz Chicks. Don't forget to go to the front of your own line. Remember, go to the front of your own line, folks. It's okay. And combine that why with, going to the front of your own line.
Right. So I'm enjoying our conversation. Anyone else have anything they'd like to weigh in on?
I'm depleted. What's Carlos?
Yeah, Carlos has got jokes over here again. I am okay depleting myself. It's time for that. So he's pouring himself out. And see, here's the thing. That's the season he's in. That's the season that he's in for himself. And some of us might be in a different season, but we need to understand what seasons we're in.
Yep. And the only way we can do that is to take time to think about it.
And Carlos says, I've been blessed and fortunate in my career. It's time to help others reach their dreams and goals.
Okay, we'll all be calling you, Carlos. Because Lord knows we need help. Okay.
So if no one has anything else to contribute to the conversation right at this point, it's Monday, and I know you all are going to go and sit, and we encourage you to sit and reassess. I was reading something where the gentleman put on his schedule time to think. Made a time to think in his schedule so that he could assess what's going on, and maybe we do an assessment at the end of the day. What went right today? What do I need to do tomorrow to make tomorrow better? Maybe you took on one too many appointments today. Where, like Terry said, was I trying to people please, or was I being a people person versus people pleasing? And so there's a fine line for that. And that article is still coming. I will be writing it. I'm a people person, but I need to know when I've fallen over into people pleasing.
Okay.
So just making sure I'm not in the season of people pleasing, or I'm not doing that, but I'm working to help better other people without losing myself.
Because you can lose yourself, and I think we can all attest to that.
That is super important, because I think as you start putting yourself out there and opportunities come your way, learning, this is what I've had to learn. I'm really good at saying no to things I don't want to do, but it's difficult for me to say no to things I do want to do. And I've had to discover that some of that comes from a people-pleasing thing, that it just feels great to be wanted, and so you don't want to say no to that. So I've definitely had to learn to balance that.
Wow.
Yep, Debbie, I've been there. Just because you can don't mean you need to.
And the thing that gets you off your assignment are good things. We're not because you know what I mean. It has to be enticing, or look valuable to us for us to want to be a part of it. Yeah, it's the good stuff you got to watch out for. It'll steal your time.
Carlos says, I think I lost myself in my marriage. That's part of this change.
Okay, I'm not sure what that means, so
I kind of understand that, because sometimes we'll morph and try and fit into in somebody else's role, or the role that we think we're supposed to be, and then it's like, I don't like Spumoni ice cream, but I keep buying it and eating it because my significant other bought me Spumoni, and I didn't have the guts to tell them I don't like Spumoni.
Oh, okay.
So now you're lost, and you're getting tons of Spumoni coming every time you turn around. And you really don't like it, but you never said, I don't like this.
Gotcha.
And then Carlos said yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for the ice cream analogy, because I can relate to that. Okay. Right. Huh.
And so what season are you in? Knowing why you do what you do. TJ talked to us and Mark talked to us about reassessing our why, and doing it often. And maybe some days you look at your day every day and reassess.
Am I still on task? Am I still, is this still the task?
Right. Should I even be doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Or should somebody else? Because I learned in my real estate business, I'm like, look, I need to get somebody to show these homes. I'm better served in a different capacity. And so I needed to make the shift in this season where the market is so hot. I need to find someone that can do that, who has a skill set, that loves to be out. Woo! And let's go. And the people person, I need to go find that I person.
That I, you need that I person
that can go and do that. I'm a D person, and I'm like, Claudia, it's got to be this, 1, 2, 3, 4, let's go. And some people can't handle that. And so I need that I personality, the one that's going to help, the party person, the person that I need to bring in other people. Is this the season for you to bring in some help? Okay. Because we've been groomed up in not so long ago time that solopreneur. No, you're not a solopreneur. You need help. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we got coaches that can help.
Collaboration. You don't have to do everything by yourself.
No, like Claudia was talking about, she collaborates with Jill. Mm-hmm. And Debbie is talking about and inquiring, helping people figure out and answer those questions about why they're doing this. And it's like, okay, so do I really need to be calling everybody? Okay. Is there technology that can help me to follow up? Mm-hmm. What's available? Carlos says solopreneur went extinct.
I think you're right.
Yeah. So the conversation for today is all about your why, the reason why you do what you do, and the season that you're in. I love the fact that Debbie is in a season of learning. Because a lot of times we heard the sales pitch, or we heard the offering or whatever, and we just jumped in, but we didn't take the time to find out what it's going to take to go through that, to learn it. And Carlos has another comment. He says, I preach about the inner circle being made with people who can be your asset as long as you can be their asset.
I just wanted to say thank you very much for the opportunity to speak, and I really enjoyed listening to you. And speaking of learning, I have a class right away. So I wish you all the best day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Debbie. We look forward to seeing you. We'll be back here next Monday. And it is about 1 minute to close the room and to sign off on bizchicks.live. We just want to say thank you for everybody who joined on this conversation. I gained some insight. Dr. Tachi, Drea, Mark, Claudia, TJ, and everybody here on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. I was going to say Instagram. That might be coming. Rob and Carlos, thank you. Thank you. Saying that it's more in depth than that, but it's a start talking about the inner circle. All right, so let's do some assessments, figure out your season, and reassess your why, and then make it a great week. We will be talking to you tomorrow. TJ, I'll be talking digital marketing, social media right here in the Clubhouse. Look for that, and look for it over on bizchicks.live and TJ Terry Johnson online everywhere.
And if you have not joined the BizChicks community, please text 33777 to
it's biz. Text biz
33777. And join our community. We'd love to have you.
Right. All right. That is our day. This is our time. We'll talk to you tomorrow with TJ. And then again on Friday, we'll be talking tech, going over the news and tech. You really need to join in on that because we learn a lot about the things that are changing in the different platforms. And so you can just keep up, and so you'll know where to be. Talk to you all next Friday and Tuesday.
With that, we want you to remember to go to the front of your own line and let's run the brand.